right, here we go. Open lane, and once again, open lane. He didn't even look. Oh, Raven. We need to stop with the horn. We need to do some better braking here.
Why? Why, man? Why?
Okay, why? Because they wanted to. Sometimes you just don't know why. And it sucks. Trust me, I want closure for a lot of things. So we're coming up to here. Big open lane. Okay, we got a bunch of people stacked. Okay, we have intersections coming up. We see the red lights up ahead. Everyone's having their brake lights. There's a big gap. You know, I consider these little spots right here is going to be an intersection. So whenever I see those driveways, intersections, I assume people can go in and out. And especially when you have gaps, you see between the white vehicle and the SUV right behind it, there's a small gap there, okay? Look for these gaps. Look for these weird patterns. People tend to be impatient and be bumper to bumper. Why aren't they bumper to bumper? Okay, so start thinking a little bit like that. Why? So here, we have another intersection coming up, okay? There's a gap between these vehicles, the white vehicle and the vehicle in front of him. And then here we go. We have somebody peeking out like a little turtle head. At this point, we have to do something. This is going to be red stage. We were in orange stage this whole time because of how many vehicles were there. If you don't know what orange stage is we're, you know, specifically identified a threat. We're like, our gut's like, I don't like it. And that's typically when you have like a lot of traffic, intersections, corners, road surface hazards, bad road debris, bunch of kids playing in the road. Stuff like that. So right here, progressively brake. You need to squeeze. You need to apply really good progressive brake pressure. Go ahead and squeeze till you get that weight on the front tire, and then squeeze even more because now you got traction. Because you can't swerve to left and right. You got to do something. You can't accelerate into it. Honking the horn's not going to help. Okay, we perceived. We have to react appropriately. We perceived here, Raven Rider perceived here, and reacted with a horn. Okay? Sometimes it works, like in the other video, but this one it didn't. Quinton B, the Honda CV500X in Belgium. Okay. We have a vehicle. We have a curb to the left. Good job with the positioning. Love it. Space cushion's being... Oh, blinker. Accelerate. He did. So impact did occur. Let's go and take a look at that. So right here, great position for safety. Remember, we're planning a ride. We're locating hazards and assessing and navigating. But when we position, once again, we are looking for good line of sight. We have great line of sight right here. We're looking for escape paths. We have an escape path right in front of us and to the right. And then we also want a good space cushion. This is a pretty good space cushion for the speed. So we're doing great for positioning. You're always looking for that position. Okay, you have to adjust though. People try to take your position. And that's what's going to happen here. So braking, our space cushion is now being deteriorated, but our line of sight and our escape path is still there. Deterioration, and we got the indicator. So once we see the indicator, let's go ahead and stop. Now, we assumed that this person's not going to jump the curb, right? But that's what they were going to do. So at this point, what we need to do, because if we try to brake, we're not going to stop in time. Okay, our total stopping distance is just way too much. We're going to be like right in the path of travel of this vehicle. What we can do, since we do have a decent space in front of this rider or in front of this driver, and we still can maintain this line if we stay on the line, accelerate through. I know this is a 500, but you could still do it. We're on motorcycles. The power to weight ratio is really good. So just honestly, whiskey throttle just a little bit. I don't want to say whiskey throttle. Maybe just crack it open a little bit more, maybe a quarter more, and get yourself out of there. Make sure you have that position. You know what's going to happen next. And the only way you know that is if you actually practice it. I actually practice this moment of doing that on highway pools. Go on the on-ramp, accelerate because I know I have to get up to speed. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's going to be legal. Everything's fine. It's a straight line. And I'm going to do that so I can get the feel of when the motorcycle wants to take off. And now I know to be aggressive in it and move in with it while I accelerate. So when something like this happens, that's going to be a natural instinct for you because acceleration can be an escape path. Okay, it can be an escape path. Handled it well. Great U-turn right here, by the way. Slow speed, yeah. Good throttle control, friction zone. And if there was an impact, go ahead and do exactly this. The driver flees. What? Oh, let's go ahead and take a look. Ooh, he almost like dumped it right there. You see that? It looks like he lost a little traction right there. Anyways, let's keep going. A little too fast. Okay, now, so you see how ego and like being upset is going to put you in a situation where it's dangerous. You see all this traffic? I mean, not traffic, but you see all the cars lined up? Yeah, that right there, anybody can be peeking out. Okay, we've seen this many times where people peek out, pull out and everything, but now we're at a high rate of speed and our target fixation is on the vehicle in front of us instead of looking and scanning for hazards. And this is what somebody can do to you in a road rage incident or tapping your motorcycle. At the end of the day, take a look at your motorcycle. And if it's okay, there's no real damage, there's nothing at all, just chalk it up. Don't put yourself in a dangerous situation to let's see what happens actually. Don't put yourself in a dangerous situation for something like this. Okay, we got a license plate. Okay. What's happening? What's happening? I would not get in front of the vehicle. Law of gross tonnage, they could totally destroy you. Okay, pulling over. They're still going. Okay, oh my gosh, we're chasing them down. Lots of oh my gosh. Lots of hazardous situations here. You're breaking probably some laws just to be heard. I get it. You want to be heard, validated, your experience to be validated. But a lot of that has to be coming from internal versus external. Sometimes these people that they hit you or they do something to you, they cause issues for you and they still won't admit it, and you'll never get that external validation of your experience. So here you have to just understand, they hit me, I'm fine, we're good. That person ran off. Jerks, man. All right, let's move on. All right, Suzuki Gixxer 1000. I'm gonna go ahead and do some wheelies. Not really good gear and got very lucky. Landing it, got the speed wobbles. This is one of those ways of getting the speed wobbles. I mean, you can hit a bump going too fast, and then here, you land it, but you land it a little crooked. So that's kind of what happens here. But make sure you guys are actually wearing full gear. You know, being a smart rider, acquire and utilize personal protective equipment, especially if you're doing stuff like this, because if you do go down, you want to at least mitigate some of the injuries. Got very lucky. Is that a check engine light? Whew. Check your pantalones after that one. All right, here we go. Behind it. Oh, right here. Bad line of sight. This is not a good position for safety right here. Don't pass a bus or any big vehicle on the right when they're making a turn. So we're coming up here, big bus. In order to make a sharp turn like this to the right, they have to swing left and then right. It's basically counter steering. So we're coming up to here. So they're swinging left, turning right. So don't pass on the right. And I don't see why this guy was pissed. Come on, man. This isn't Sao Paulo, Brazil. Completely normal. Completely normal. I don't know what they're teaching out there in Brazil. Okay, this one, side of the vehicle, okay, I get it. It looks like they had a stop sign. They had a stop sign, honking the horn. We're getting into the intersection. We were in yellow stage, and then when we see the intersection side of the vehicle, what we need to be doing is going into orange stage. So we're prepped and ready for anything. And then now we see the vehicle come out because we're already in orange stage, rolling off the throttle a little bit, covering those front brakes. We see this. Let's go ahead and apply some progressive braking so we can keep our space cushion while they just kind of travel across. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. This happens all the time. Okay, if your life is this miserable, why? You're on a motorcycle.